We live? Well, let's do it. DEG. Granddaughter. 4:30 in the building. Yeah. Big game, we talk that. Made a path, we walk that. Skills max, streets got a bag, that's a real win. Never lost that, this dead end gaming. You know how we do. BZ and the granddad. That's player one, that's player two. New, we gon' talk about it. Review, we gon' talk about it. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, we gon' talk about it. Can't forget that PC. Best around this web B. Special guest from 9/11 right up out that family tree. We got it. Sonic's traveling real fast. Leveled up, but we the final boss. So else to go with this podcast. It's dead end gaming. Finna hit the mark. On point like the sharpest dart. If you tuned in, just know you smart. Press start.
What up, though? This is your boy BZ430 here. She's back. I am not even gonna say special guest. This is pretty much family right here, man. She took the time out of her busy schedule to pop back in here. Me and her been talking about doing this since this damn show premiered last month, April 10th. Yeah, we a month late, but we had to get this in because me and her are the biggest Fallout fans on this show. Curls, y'all. Tyler in the building. Give it to him one more time, Tyler. Give him the tagline again.
What up, though, y'all? AKA Sweetest Pie, AKA the Hoodie Bandit, AKA a Boogie in Yo Hoodie, AKA yo that hoodie tight, son. Now run that shit, bitch. Nah, me. Oh, that felt good.
Yes, man. I know it's been too damn long, but good to see you. I'm glad you. Yeah, I haven't seen you since the wedding stuff, since the wedding and the festivities, man. So yeah, like I said, I don't know whenever Bloodbath is coming back in town. Hopefully he come back in town soon. I want us to get a Spades game going. We have to get a Spades. If it could be at my crib. It could be whatever. We have to get a Spades going. Me, you, Kev, and Granddad, man, or something. So, yes, it's been too long. But
out on the patio.
Right, exactly. You know the vibes. You know the vibes already. You already know the vibes. But yes, this, of course, Granddad Willie's not here. So once Granddad informed me that he wasn't going to be here today, I was like, okay, me and Tyler has been texting back and forth, trying to get our schedule just has not been aligning like crazy, trying to get trying to record this review. We've been trying to record this review for the last like 2 weeks. Has it been like 2 weeks?
At least. We've been going back and forth talking about scheduling from before I left for Detroit. I really think it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, probably so, because I think it was a little bit before my birthday, and I remember you was like, we can do it that Sunday. I was like, well, I'm gonna be out of town for my birthday, so we can't do it that Sunday.
Exactly.
Yep, and Ken and because Ken and Mike and them for Frames Per Second, shout out to Frames Per Second, they was going to wait for us. But once I was going out of town, and then I think you was going, it was just like they just went on ahead and shot it because they was going to wait for us to. We was going to join them on the Fallout series review. So we're talking about it now. Me and Tyler going to talk about this TV show series that's on Prime. Like I said, premiere April 10th, and they. I thought they were going to do a weekly episode, and they just uploaded all 8 of them in the same time. So I was able to watch them at, we was able to watch them at our own pace, at our own leisure. It was only one actor who I recognized on this TV series. I didn't recognize a lot of other folks. The Ella Purnell, the main character, Lucy, didn't recognize her. Didn't know. I've never seen her or nothing before. I recognized Walker. What's his name? Walker Guygens. Yes, I recognized him. I've seen him in some stuff before. Aaron Moulton, who plays Maximus. What's his Moises, who plays Norm. I haven't recognized him. I'm sorry, I take that back. The guy that played her Lucy's dad, Hank.
Yeah,
I recognized him.
I recognized him. And also the dude that played the original Titus from The Night in the Brotherhood, the Seal. I recognized him.
Okay.
But like pretty much everybody else, I was like, I don't know these people.
Gotcha. Yeah. I say, yeah, same way. I was just like, okay, cool. New actors, new actresses. I've never seen them. Let's see it. So before we get into it, what was your expectations before, like, seeing, because I remember me and you was texting when they showed the poster, when they showed the trailer, like all that stuff. So did you have any like low or high expectations, or was you just kind of like, I'm just watching this because I'm a huge fan of the game?
Well, I mean, I would say that I was a little ambivalent in the sense that, and I still, in some ways, am ambivalent, but I'm gonna come back to that when we give sort of like an overall review. Okay. But I would say that I was ambivalent in the sense that obviously everybody who knows me knows I love Fallout. Like, I've loved Fallout for a very long time. So it's like, on one hand, I was excited to see this show, this world that I love being like, you know, sort of brought to a new medium. But at the same time, I was like, nah, if they fuck it up, I'ma feel a way about it. You know what I'm saying? And like, so often, of course, throughout history, like when they would adapt video games to movies or TV shows or whatever, it wouldn't go well. But recently we've gotten some better iterations of that, like The Last of Us, etc. But I was like, if they don't do this exactly right, then I'm gonna be upset with it. So that was sort of going in. I was like, I didn't know exactly what to expect. When I started seeing pictures coming out from the set, I'm like, it looks like they're recreating the world, at least, you know?
Yep.
But I was like, I don't know. But pretty much like within the first couple minutes of the first episode, I was like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my expectations was, I think, and you know, me and Granddad, we've been kind of talking about this. Like, I feel like recent years, we've been saying, like, with these video games, you shouldn't try to do movies, especially video games that has a lot of story or a lot of like just thickness to it. So I feel like with, you know, we've been saying most recently, like most video game stuff should be in series. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a TV series out of them. So they knocked it out the park with Last of Us. So yeah, I'm with you. When I saw the pictures, I was just kind of like, okay. When I saw the images, I was like, okay, this might. I think my expectations was like, But then when I started seeing the pictures and stuff, I said, okay, it might get a little. It's getting a little higher up here, man, because they, like I said, them doing this into a series, I think is great. I think if they would have tried to do this into a 2.5 hour movie, I just think we would have been upset. So I'm glad that they did this in the form of a series. Like, that's
quote Future. Ain't no way.
Ain't
no fucking way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's so much lore in Fallout.
It really is.
To fit it into a TV show. You know, like there's just no way to do Fallout correctly in like 2.5 hours.
Exactly. So yeah, you know, I'm glad they went ahead with the TV series version of it. And my initial thoughts before we go into each episode, I enjoyed it. I thought this was I liked it. I liked the fact that they had it, because you know, Fallout story wise, it's so many different ways you can play this game. It's so many different ways, different stories can pan out depending on what you do. So I'm glad they didn't try to like pinpoint a specific game to try to follow. Like, they didn't try to follow like New Vegas, or they didn't try to follow Fallout 3. Like, they kept it. They gave us the Fallout world that, you know, us gamers are used to seeing. But they kind of, I like the fact they kind of had a little like original story to it in the world of the Fallout universe that we love so much. I mean, everything. I mean, from the sound effects, like everything. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. They did not disappoint me with this series. What about you?
I would agree. I loved it. I sort of binged it, and I usually don't binge TV shows because I don't have time, but it was one of those things, like, once it really got going, I was like, I gotta finish this. Like, I stayed up late and finished it. So like, literally, like I said, even like within the first couple minutes of the first episode, like seeing the sugar bombs, like seeing the cram, seeing like even how they opened the vault door was like so true to the video game.
Yes.
And so it reminded me, I think I saw this online, so I can't take full credit for it, but talking about that Leonardo DiCaprio meme when he's like pointing at the TV, like all us Fallout fans just pointing at the TV like the whole time, because there was so much that, you know, that they really pulled from the video game and did well. So 100%, I would say that overall there really isn't anything that they could have done that would have made me happier with it. Also, in addition to staying true to the production design, like the production design was out of this world.
It was.
Even outside of that, just like staying true to the sort of spirit of the series, in terms of like the humor and the darkness and the sort of critique on society and capitalism and all that shit. I mean, they did that. I mean, I guess that's my review, is like, they did that.
Yeah, they did. They really, I was just like, hey, look, Prime, Amazon, they got bread over there at Prime Studios. So yeah, they definitely had to knock this out and make the production A1. You know what I'm saying? But I guess we can start off with episode 1. Of course, me personally, I'm so glad that they showed, like, you know, the nuke war happening. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see Cooper. He's some type of like actor or like a celebrity. Cooper Howard's character. He's him and his daughter. I'm like, when I saw she was mixed, I'm like, oh, he didn't got him a sister. He got him a sister up in here. But yeah, I'm glad they showed the nuclear attack, showing what happened, and then fast forward into 220, 219, 218 years later that they show Vault 33, and then we see the main character, Lucy. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler. I do sort of remember of like some of the votes being like an occult like type of mentality. But I don't remember this being this extreme. Was it this extreme in the video games? The way how they was arranging the marriage and all that stuff, and just it was crazy.
Well, I mean, because the thing is, right, is that like in Fallout lore, like all of the vaults are sort of a social experiment of some kind, and some of the experiments are like relatively chill, and some of them are like really fucked up. So I felt like that was another example of them being true to the lore, is having this vault where it's supposed to be like it's really meritocracy type shit, and then but also it's being run by, we find out later. We'll get that later. But I mean, you find out later sort of what's going on, behind the scenes. But I felt like that was definitely true to the lore for sure, like having it. But this is definitely the first time I've seen the whole 3 vaults together.
Yep. 31, Vault 31, 32, and 33 were like kind of joined together, which that definitely was, like I said, original. It was still in the realm of what we're familiar with, but it was like a cool, like original idea that they did. So
yeah, and that's the thing about Fallout lore, in my opinion, is that like vaults are just kind of the gift that keeps on giving, because you can keep adding to the Fallout universe in perpetuity just by like adding another vault. Like you can think of it today, it's like, oh, we about to have Vault 77. It's gonna be this, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a dog in charge. You know what I'm saying? And then they can make like a whole story based off of that.
That was dope. So of course, so we see the marriage and all that stuff. So yeah, she's married. So they come to find out the guy that she ended up marrying is a raider, to be a raider. And I'm like, oh snap. So another thing that we're familiar with seeing in the game, because I was wondering when we was gonna get to that point. Like I didn't think it was gonna be out the gate like that. So it was found out they was a raider. They was like they intruded the vault and pretty much damn near killed almost everybody, with the exception of like 6 or 7 people. I know it was the pregnant lady. I can't remember her name on here.
Yeah, but,
and then they took her dad. They took Lucy's dad, which is Hank. And I was just like, okay, this is wild. Lucy was pissed.
Pretty much like as soon as they came through, like as soon as they were standing in the hallway, I'm like, something's up. Yeah. Something's amiss. And then like during the wedding scene, when they was all just sitting at the table and they was eating weird and they wasn't dancing, I was like, no,
so you sensed it.
And I thought Raiders pretty soon. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know exactly what like faction they were gonna go with, but I feel like Raiders is pretty, ubiquitous in the Fallout universe. I clocked that pretty soon. I'm like, these are some Raiders.
Yep, that was dope, man. So we saw that, and they left, and they took her dad. So of course, Lucy was like, pretty much, I'm leaving the vote, and they all tell, of course they was all against that. Hey, look, Tyler, Lucy was like, look, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. You know what I'm saying? Lucy, that's what Lucy was on. Lucy was on like, look, I'm about to get my dad. Hell no, they didn't did this. But meanwhile, I think in this same episode we get introduced to Maximus, which is the Brotherhood, the Brotherhood of Steel, which another Fallout lore that we talked about. That is just like, damn, they really like at this point when they went to Maximus and stuff. I was just like, bruh, like they really doing this. They are really doing it. You see the armor, the full metal armor and stuff. I'm like, bruh. So they showing him, trying to get up in rank in the Night Titan Titus. I think that's what it's called, Knight and Titus.
Yeah, Titus.
Yeah, so they was hunting for a member of the Enclave. So that was dope. And then what else? So you see him into that portion. I've never seen that actor before that's playing him. Have you seen him in anything before?
Nah.
Yeah.
And I looked him up on IMDb because I did that with like all the cast members. I was trying to figure out if
you seen him or something. Yeah,
I never. It was pretty much
never. And which I'm cool. Look, if you got if it's some new talented actors and actresses, I'm cool with them if this is gonna get them they shine. So, but yeah. So then I think at that point after the Brotherhood of Steel stuff, we get a reintroduction into Cooper.
Yes, the ghoul.
Yes, the ghoul. Like the way he stepped on the scene, was kind of gangster. That shit was gangster as hell. Because when I first saw him, I'm like, okay, that's a ghoul. But I'm like, that dude he looks familiar. I was like, oh, he's the guy that was at the damn beginning with his daughter and all that stuff. So it kind of took me a minute to kind of connect like who he was. I'm just like, man. But man, when I saw the ghoul, I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, I'm like you. I'm like, oh, I'm in. I'm here now. Like once that episode ended and we saw him take down those 3 dudes because he wanted to join them for the bounty, fuck them up. And then I didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect from the Raiders that they was going to be this gory, like it was going to kind of be a little graphic. So at that point, I'm like, oh, you seeing heads being blown off and all that stuff? I'm like, we here. I'm like, oh yeah, this is about to be my show. So that was dope that we saw the ghoul.
Of course, that would be what you would get excited about.
Look, just
in case we all forgot.
I wanted to see the gore.
Blood, y'all. Blood and guts.
Yes, I wanted to see the blood and guts and gore. So that definitely, I was just like, oh, okay, we here, we out here now. So that pretty much ended the first episode. So then episode 2, we meet Dr. Wiggy. I think I'm saying it. Wingzig. Yeah. Like Wilzig. Yeah, we meet Dr. Wilzig, who's had a mysterious blue device. He was injecting some type of medicine or device into his neck, and they showed him working with the dogs. Experimenting with the dogs, which we've seen that plenty of times in another lore in the Fallout world is experimenting on the dogs. It was this 400 CX404 if I'm right. And they in the wasteland. So that was dope to see Lucy and Wilzig because he had it was something important about him. I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember what was so important about him? Because I remember she ended up taking his head. And
basically he basically sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, it was
he had stolen the cold fusion we found out later. Sorry.
Yep. It's spoiled. Everything is spoiled up in here. They know.
So basically, but that to me was like you said, like another dope aspect of the lore because we know that the Enclave, like I don't know why I can't talk today. Enclave, yeah.
Yeah.
We know them as being sort of like the big bad boogeyman in a lot of ways, like them and Vault-Tec. So like seeing them come through and be doing the shit that they do like in the game was very, very dope to me. So yeah, so he like smuggled, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like smuggled that out by like injecting it into his head. And so it was also dope to see dog meat. Like as soon as I saw the dog, I was like, oh, it's dog meat. But
because he was eating that big ass roach. That dog ate that big.
Yeah, but it's true to the game. Like that's one of the first enemies you encounter.
Yep.
So like I also love that. But yeah, like he smuggled that out, and then the alarms went off, and then he went to the city where he ran into the ghoul and Lucy. But peep how you peep how it was another lure of the game where he was running with the dog and the turret came out and started shooting him. I was like, bro, that's exactly in the game. That's exactly in the game where you be out wandering and then you see that turret come up and you got to take it out. Like, so that was kind of dope to see that part. So, and then what else ended up happening? So then did they go to that? Was this the episode they went to that like small little like village town area, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they had that gunfight.
Yeah, they had it. Oh man, that gunfight when the ghoul came in there, gangster as hell, and started popping every damn body. That shit was so damn dope, man. I mean, yeah. I was like, okay, they got the action shit down packed. They got the emotion and the action. They got of course, the gore. Oh yeah, before that too, we also saw some of the power armor be used when they was attacked by a mutant bear. When they got attacked by the
Yaguai, which also I was excited to see the Yaguai because that's again, like Fallout. They brought out the enemies like the Gulper that we see later.
Yes,
they look in the game.
Yes,
I'm still mad I ain't seen no Deathclaw. They tried to put
they saving that for season 2.
You know how much I love me some Deathclaw.
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was watching. I thought about you. I said, oh man, we ain't gonna get like no Deathclaw. But I think they're gonna save it for season 2. They have to. We got to see a Deathclaw because that's like a popular mainstay in the game. So
yeah, that's when they put the skull to like appease people like me. It was like, what the fuck?
Yep. But yeah, man, we see him go there and shoot off Dr. Wilzig's leg. Like The goal did with that shotgun. He had it was like a handgun, but with shotgun bullets or something. That shit was crazy.
Fucking them.
Oh my god, that was so crazy, man.
Listen, but it was also funny seeing Maximus come in there not really knowing how to use the power armor, right?
Yep.
I feel like that was sort of true to the game
because that's how he was. That's how he was when he had the power armor. We was like, wait a minute, how we use this thing? Like, what's going? Wait a minute, what? Like, oh yeah. Also, too, I like how they had the Pit Boys on their like. That's another thing that's true to the game. How Lucy, I forgot to mention this in episode 1. How she detected that it was a raider when she put her Pit Boy up, and then they started making that noise. Yep. So yeah, man, this shit was crazy. So yeah, so then he came down and kind of distracted Lucy and Dr. Wilzig to kind of get away and leave or whatever. So they was kind of on their own trail. And what else happened after that? So then Gould took the dog. He ended up wounding it, but then he ended up taking the dog after he healed him up, and he was pretty much using him. And then that's when we think we get to episode 3 at that point, because that's when Lucy and Wilzig was still going apart. I think this ain't the part where he chopped off his head. Yeah. So then we in episode 3. Yeah, this was the scene. Okay, so episode 3, I remember this. This was when I think Lucy had ended up linking up with the goal, because then they end up going into the heavily radiated portion of the world. Remember, he was like, yeah, everything here is bad. Like everything here is, you might see some water, but it's bad water, because everything
that was later though, because when she was still with him, what happened, because he got wounded, and so that's why he ended up dying, and he was like, just take my head with you, and then she cut his head off. That's right. Went off with that, and then that's when she bumped up with her. That's
when she bumped into the ghoul. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So she cut his head off, and then they meet with the ghoul, and then that's when they went to the quote unquote the real bad radiation part of the map, because he was looking for that bounty. The ghoul was following up on that bounty that the 3 guys was going after him was trying to get him to join. So he went on ahead and took that bounty out, and then
everybody was trying to get this dude's head. That was sort of the central thing, that they sent, the Brotherhood sent Maximus, or technically sent Titus before Maximus took his place, but everybody was trying to get to this Enclave dude, and then but he ended up dying. Once he died, then it was everybody was trying to get his head. Yep.
That shit was wild. And then what you think about because I think this was the episode where we first started getting flashbacks. Episode 3 when we started, because I was kind of curious of Cooper's character, how did he end up becoming from what he was, here we go, he is this family guy, to this ghoul. I mean, of course we know it's probably from the nuclear radiation, but we were still kind of getting a little bit of background. I feel like this was the episode, or maybe it was episode 4 that they started doing kind of going flashbacking into his character
earlier than that. Because also we saw him at the beginning, and then we just sort of got to fill in some of the blanks about I feel like we might even started getting them in episode 2, and we started seeing him on set and everything, and also seeing that his wife worked for Vault-Tec. I thought that was really dope. How they wrote that in so he could find out some of the dark secrets behind how Vault-Tec operates. I feel like that was really good for them to address that in the show, because that's something people that play the game know, that the vaults are fucked up. Watching new wouldn't necessarily know that or know why. So I thought that was a really good way to sort of bring that in. But also just seeing those flashbacks also really was dope, in terms of what I was saying earlier about seeing the Sugar Bombs commercials and the Nuka-Cola and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was they really took their time in crafting this. So I think back in episode 3, back in Vault 33, that's when Norm, the little nerdy looking dude, he was asking the council to execute the members, some of the members that they captured when they attacked them at the very first episode, and so they was trying to get that, because they had them locked in a little prison cell or something inside that Vault 33, the Raiders. So then that's when they showed, I remember. So then after that's when they showed Cooper, like you said, being a spokesperson for Vault-Tec, and his wife being, and then the episode went off. So then we went to episode 4, which was titled the Ghouls. So then I think we start this one off in 33, where Norm still being suspicious and wary about the captive Raiders inside of Vault 33. And I think him and Chet kind of explored Boat 32. Remember when everything was all burnt up?
Over there.
Yeah. Yep. Everything was all burnt up and dead.
Be up. You know what I'm saying? Because like we talked about the vaults, we knowing that the vaults are usually something fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like even I think one of the raiders that said, "Oh, whatever they were doing in that vault was far from innocent." So then when you go over there, you see it, it's like, yo, again, like it's true to Fallout lore that it was that like whatever happened in there, like everybody sort of went crazy and like turned on each other and like all of that.
Yeah, because I think that's when they saw like those dead bodies and like a mother and like a child, like someone had used the Pit Boy to lower him in or whatever. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, that was like you said. It was definitely on point with the Fallout video game. If we all played them, yeah. And then I think the next part was when the ghouls they encountered the what's his name, Roger. It was I think that was his name. He encountered Roger. Yeah, he remember the dude that got the bounty guy. He encountered him and then he ate him. Like he killed him. He turned him over in his back and he started eating him.
Oh,
you don't remember that?
The other.
Yeah, the other ghoul. The
other ghoul.
Yeah, like that's when
that was like because that was really interesting to me because like that's not something that at least I've ever seen in any of the games I played. That,
I was about to ask you that
ghouls can like take something to not turn feral.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. I was like, did that happen before? Because I
don't remember seeing that.
Me neither. That was definitely something new. That I saw. So then, I think that's when Ghoul took Lucy to that. They was in that supermarket. Remember, they was in that big supermarket, and I think that's because that's when we figure out. Yeah, like you just mentioned, I think that's when we figured out like he had to keep taking something so he won't. When we saw those,
but I feel like in the games it was always like there were feral ghouls, there were not feral ghouls. They just never really explained it. It's just like this is what it is, accept it. But what you reminded me of is like I like really got a kick out of that line when he was like, the rule of the wasteland is you will get sidetracked by bullshit every time because that's really how it be. Like that was so spot on. Like wandering through Fallout and you just be like, oh, what's over here? And now you want a side mission for 3 hours.
Yes, that is so true. that is so damn true. Playing Fallout because the world is so big, so you think you'll be doing on one mission and you'd be like, oh, let me go over here and that's clearly me. I'm like that damn near on all open world games. I'll be doing something and I just be like, oh, let's go over here. What's happening over here or whatever. I easily get sidetracked. So that's definitely real. But yeah, and I think that's when. Was that when Lucy? Yeah. So that's when we saw the other ghouls that was locked up and they opened up. They let them free. She let them free thinking that they were okay. And then they started attacking her. They started attacking her and she got away.
That made me sad when she was like trying to talk to the one who was like trying to remember her name.
Yep. The lady. That old lady. Yeah. Yep. I was like, man. So yeah, man. Lucy ended up getting her like that was kind of like her. I think that was the first time we kind of see her kill a ghoul because I know she was killing it. She was trying to kill those raiders. Well, no, that was her first time getting a kill because she didn't kill none of them raiders in the first one. In the very first episode. So this was like her first time like really having to kill someone. So then I think that episode
that's something that they did really well though. It's like having her character go from being like innocent and not wanting to kill somebody into being like the wasteland kind of changing her and like she's getting better at fighting and now she's shooting motherfuckers. Yep. Just sort of losing some of that innocence and like naivete, that like she didn't want to kill the ghouls, but now she's like, well, I got to kill these motherfuckers because they're going to kill me if I don't kill them first.
Yep, exactly. And then, and then what she ended up doing, which was pretty cool, she ended up giving the ghoul that dose that he needed because he was like, yeah, if I don't get this, she's like, she pretty much saw it. She saw like, yeah, you're going to change into one of them if you don't get this chemical. So she gave him the chemical that he needed, which I think that's what ended episode 4. And then I think episode 5, I think that's this. Okay, so this is Maximus. I remember this one. So this is when we started getting to kind of like his side of what he's got going on. Because at this point he took the power armor from Michael Rappaport's character, which I do not like Michael Rappaport, man. He get on my nerves. But anyway,
he's universally not liked. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody that likes him.
Yeah, I can't. He irks me, man. But so Maximus, at this point we see the full body armor like. He has it. He got it. It's being, it was kind of damaged a little bit in that fight with that mutant bear. But Thaddeus got it. He's going on a mission to try to I think go to that enclave that we was talking about. But then he gets sidetracked with some. I know he was looking at his the power armor. So then he got sidetracked by some knuckleheads that pretty much beat him up. But he ended up killing him still, which I'm kind of surprised he got out of that one, though, because he ended up smashing my man's head. The other dude ran. Yeah, barely. He barely got away. He ended up smashing dude's head, ended up running away. So then I think that's when he meet up with... Did he meet up with Norm? Not...
No, the other, like, they sent the replacement for, because he was telling the Brotherhood, my squire died, so then they sent the new one.
Thaddeus, I think that's his name. I think that was his name. Yeah, Thaddeus. Yeah,
that was so whack because as soon as he told him his real identity, I'm like, don't trust this motherfucker.
Right,
he's clearly not to be trusted.
Exactly. I was just like, come on now, really? So. Yeah, so we see pretty much Thaddeus going through his whole stuff with that power armor and fixing it, and then they do a flashback, not a flashback, but then we go back to Vote 33, and what's that council lady, the one, I think she's a council president, the one that got popped in the eye during the pregnant one that got hit in the eye in the beginning. Betty, I think her name is Betty. Betty
is the black one.
Betty is the black with the afro.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. So wrong one. So yeah, she's the one that was they oversee like 98% or something. What did they say? Like 95% of the Vote 33. I guess they was trying to figure out what they was going to do with those raiders. Either still keep them captive, or like give them the death, or like kill them, pretty much. But I think Norm was he hacks he went into Vote 32. I remember he went to the other. That's when they were still looking. Him and that other white guy. It was another taller gentleman with the light hair. I can't remember his name. Golly, I can't remember his name. You know what I'm talking about. Norm was with him. He was a taller guy. He was a taller gentleman. So they was in there. What's his name?
Wasn't it Chet or something like that?
I think so. But he went in there. They went into that Vote 32, that computer. Remember they hacked that computer that oversees the whole 32 and 33 thing, and then they came from Vote 31, and it was a message, something that they saw in there, verbatim. Sorry, y'all. I'm going off of a 2-week memory of me watching this show.
But basically, he was trying to reach out to the other vault and was like, "Oh, it's something up," or like something like that. Like basically trying to like figure out what was going on because he knew that something was amiss at that point, and like trying to figure out what had happened in that vault. And then that's when they started noticing that all the overseers for Vault 33 was all coming from its transfers from the other vault. And it was like, okay, this is suspicious. And then you're right. Because then at that point, I remember, I think this is how this particular episode ended. They was going to repopulate. Remember Betty was telling them that they was going to go and she was going to tell Vote 32 to go repopulate 33 once they cleaned out all the dead people that was in Vote 33. They was going to kind of repopulate and start getting that going. Remember you started seeing them walking in slowly into that new vote. Into Vote 33. All clean.
Yep.
So they was looking at each other like, what?
Yep. So that's I remember that's how that episode ended, because she was telling the guys go repopulate that, and that shit looked like nobody touched it. Like it looked like nobody lived there. Like that's how clean that shit looked over there. So yeah, that's how episode 5 ended. Then we get to episode 6, which was titled the Trap. So then I think that's when we see Lucy and Maximus. They finally kind of linked up. Yeah, I think because this was the episode when didn't she end up taking them to the vote? He was trying to.
She had to help him because remember he was stuck in the power armor and the red roaches was on him because old dude took his.
That's right. Core. Thaddeus. The one you didn't like, the one you didn't trust from the get go. Yeah, so he ended up taking that fusion core, which again, Tyler. That's to the game, because you had to keep those cores on you whenever you was out with your power armor, man. You like, let me make sure I have enough cores on me so I can keep refilling it, keep putting it in and throw away, in disregard the other one. And you had to make sure you keep buying them and having enough cores. So man,
this he stole it from the vault, like it was in the generator, how it be in the game. Crazy. You got to steal a fusion.
Yes, that shit was so crazy. When I saw that, I was like, oh my god, they are really doing it. And I feel like, for someone who probably don't play the games, they will watch that and be like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Right. Or, like they won't get the connection when we saw that, we like you said, Leonardo DiCaprio, it's like, oh my god, they doing it. They did it. So yeah, that was dope, man. So yeah, she helped Maximus get out of trouble. And then after she took him to the vote. But you remember how it was funny how that episode, how the tables turned, because
that was funny.
Yeah,
but remember, she didn't take them to the vault on purpose. Like, they ended up like trapped in there.
Yeah,
they went in that building, and then they fell down that chute.
Yep, and they was inside the vault.
Said test subjects. I'm like, this is some more fucked up vault shit.
Right. Okay. So this was the episode. I remember this now, Tyler. So wasn't this the episode when they was recovering? They had them like sealed off. They had them quarantined or whatever when they first got down there. Mm-hmm. So then, which is funny, she was like, "You want to?" It's like having sex and everything, which is so like as a matter of fact for them. It was just like, "Oh, you want to have sex? Let's just have sex then." No,
they didn't know, right?
No, yeah, no, but you remember when they first got there, the black Maximus was very weary of the play. Like, no, I don't know. But she was like, "Come on, I've lived in
the best place on earth."
Yeah, like, but it's funny how that episode kept going, and then Lucy started seeing like, what was that shit? The Flame Mother. Remember that little coat shit they had when they was all like naked? This was the episode. They was all
so weird.
Yeah, they were all naked, and they had a picture of her on the thing, and it was called the Flame Mother. And then that's when, and it was funny because that's when Lucy was like, "Yeah, we need to get out of here." But then Maximus was kind of like chilling. He was like,
he was getting into it. Yeah, he never had that life.
He never had that life.
That life of luxury with all the food. Yep. He's sitting there eating all the food and sitting in his robe.
Yep.
Hot shower. Because he said, "Do you want to take a shower? Hot shower?" And he's like,
"What's that?" Yep. Like, yep. So.
But no, wait. But also, what we didn't say yet is that, like, around this time in the flashbacks, we saw this vault when the Ghoul's character, what was his real name? Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah, when Cooper was doing the commercials, we saw that vault because that was the vault that the black family was sitting in and being like, "This vault is going to be run by scientists." In the commercial.
Yep.
And so when we saw all that like test subject shit, it was like, oh wait, like, you know what I'm saying? So they did a really good job of tying that all together.
Yeah, 6 was a very, that was a good, you're right. 6 was episode 6, The Trap was a good episode for them to kind of like, if you were kind of lost or if you was kind of confused, like they kind of tied everything together for you in that particular episode, which especially with the flashback. So yeah, that's a good point. That was definitely a great point to bring up. But yeah, man, like by the time she saw how crazy and cult like that damn vote was, she was like, "Yeah, we need to get up out of here." And then she started like sneaking around, and when they doing like some type of like, what were they doing, like an experiment on human experiments, some cloning experiments inside that vote? Remember she was sneaking around when Maximus was still in this robe chilling, and she was going around like, "Yeah, we need to get out of here." She saw like
and it was like fish people.
Yep.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was like type of cloning type experiments that they were doing in there, and then of course she got caught and she had to fight her. They had to fight their way out or whatever. Oh,
but I think no, they let them go basically because Maximus came in there thinking he was gonna have to break her out, and they was like, "We're gonna exile you," basically. Like,
we're gonna let you out.
But they said, and I was a little confused about this at first, but they were saying that basically like they weren't doing the experiments on it was basically like the scientists that had populated the vault at first, they were doing fucked up experiments, and then like these people were just sort of keeping the experiments like sort of comfortable and a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because they had sort of taken the vault over from when the experiments like killed off all the scientists basically or something like that.
Yeah, man.
So these weren't like the original people. So that's one of the reasons why this vault was a little bit more on the not normal but like nicer side, I think, because a lot of those people were people from the surface that came down there and populated it, remember? And like
because you had that 3-eye dude,
like the original people.
Yeah, you had that guy that had the eye on this middle of his head and all that shit. And it was, that vote was definitely giving me weird vibes when they was down there. I was like, they need to get up out of there. I don't know about that. And then once I saw the ritual, I was like, oh yeah, they definitely need to get the hell up out of there. Like this shit is wild. This wild west down there. But so then they end up getting, so I think that was in episode 6. So then we get to episode 7, which is the radio. Oh, this was the episode when your boy Thaddeus, when he found out he was a ghoul, because he had that arrow.
With that doctor.
Yes, with the doctor, because
the doctor gave him the chemicals.
Yep.
That was that dude was funny.
Yep. So Thaddeus ended up getting the chemicals, and Lucy and Maximus end up meeting up with him to get the head, to get the doctor's head. But okay, let me ask you this, and I forgot about this, because after that encounter, when Thaddeus was like, "Why am I not dead?" and stuff, and he pulled it out, and then it healed back up, and then she was like, "Oh, you're a ghoul," or whatever, and he was like, "Huh?" So they switched they end up switching heads because remember, Maximus was like, "Oh, they want them a head. I'm gonna give him a head," and he took a head off.
Because Thaddeus took off running because it was like, if they find out that I'm a ghoul, they're gonna kill me basically.
Thaddeus did, but I'm talking about when Maximus took that head. He was taking it back to the Brotherhood because the Brotherhood was thinking that was the head of the Doctor, right? Wasn't that the reason?
They gave him a different, he gave them a different head.
But Lucy took the head.
Property.
Yeah, Lucy took the head though. She got the Doctor's head back and continued her journey. She ended up going alone, because they ended up separating. So, once
the Brotherhood came, because Thaddeus had called them from the radio tower. Mm-hmm. So once the Brotherhood came, it was Maximus basically had to go back with them. Yep.
And then this one, the little, and then I think this is the episode with the little nerdy dude. Was it Norm from the Vote? He breaks into Vote 31. Remember he snuck in. He went behind those guards and snuck in the Vote 31, and then the goals, and then that Moldover's location. One of the goals was he went down to the Moldover's location to he went back down to get that dog. That's what it was. He went back down there to get his dog, and then I think that's when they did a flashback.
Well, remember, Hank, when he got in the vault, he saw all the people basically being sort of frozen to be unthawed and go be overseers at the other vault. Which is interesting because, that was sort of the freezing thing that they had in Fallout 4 almost.
Hank did or Norm did?
Norm
did,
is the brother, right?
No, he's the little nerdy.
Okay, I might have mixed them up.
Yeah.
Norm is her brother.
Yeah, he's her brother. Yeah. No, Hank is her dad. Lucy's dad.
Her dad. You're right. You're right. Okay,
yeah, Hank is her dad. Yeah, I'm thinking he's the nerdy looking white boy. The little, I guess that is her brother. Yeah, that is her brother. Norm. The little, remember he went in, he looked on that, he broke in on that computer and he saw all the, that's crazy because this was another call back in the game. I remember when they was looking at computers, remember how I had the all black with the green letters and all that stuff when you trying to figure
the hacking.
Yes,
that made me smile.
So they showed him doing that. Remember he went in Vote 33. I remember he was 31. He went in Vote 31 and he was hacking into that computer. So, but yeah, and then we see go get his dog back, and then like I said, I think they did a flashback. I remember that episode 7 they did a flash. They kind of ended these last couple of episodes, episode 6 and 7, with flashbacks. But they went back and showed the younger Moldiver, the younger, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
He went back and revealed the world profiting conglomerate, how Voltech was profiting from all this, pretty much. The war profiting, because that's what Voltech was known for. So they showed that, man, and then I think that's when that episode had ended. That's how the episode ended with pretty much them revealing that, pretty much with Voltech been pretty much the money behind this whole situation from the get go.
Then basically escalating it so that they can,
Yep. So and they that's when they had told Cooper that he couldn't trust his wife because she was I guess the head of being a part of that Voltech. So they were saying, man, you need to watch your wife. You need to check.
Basically she was you sort of see later, or the way she's rationalizing this to herself is that I'm just trying to protect our family and make sure that we'll be in one of the good vaults. And Cooper's what do you mean the good vault?
Yep. So then because that's how that ended. So, man, look. The timing of these flashbacks that they were doing throughout this damn show was perfect. It didn't feel random. None of these flashbacks felt well, why they doing that? Or why they, every flashback was a nugget to either a future episode or a nugget for that episode that we were watching already. That was brilliant. That was brilliant how they did that. So now we get to the final episode.
And that's what I was about to say. When we see all of them sitting around the table and Cooper is eavesdropping. I can't remember if that's the last episode or the second to last one, but we got to talk about that scene because that shit made I was fucking arms in the air, screaming. So I just want to make sure that we don't skip over that part.
I think you know what?
And they're all sitting around the table. And that was Mr. House, because I realized that was Mr. House. But
episode 6.
That's Mr. House.
Episode 6. You talking about episode 6? That's how. Because remember, I said episode 7 and 6. They both of them ended with flashbacks. You're talking about episode 6 flashback. Yep, Cooper. He was.
So excited.
He eavesdropped. I remember you right. He eavesdropped on this it was a secretary board thing that he kind of eavesdropped on them having dinner or whatever. And and
I saw that man with the mustache shit at the table, and I saw the rock. I was I was so fucking excited. And then when Cooper's wife was war never changes. I was I don't even have a word. So I'm happy that part, baby.
Yep. That was episode. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was episode 6, the flashback on that one. So yeah, man, the flashbacks was perfect. They were perfect. They tied everything in. They made everything make sense. None of the flashbacks felt like they were just throwing something out there. So I'm glad whoever was writing this, they did a great job. They did a great job of doing this. So now we get to the final episode. So Lucy, this is the episode shield. So Lucy finally makes it to the I guess the place where she's supposed to take the Wilzig's head. She finally arrived there because remember she pulled up and the doors open and all that stuff and she walking towards the dome, to I guess to learn about this war or whatever. I guess that how the whole thing started. I think that's her.
She's trying to deliver it so she can get her dad back because at that point she doesn't know
is he alive or dead or whatever.
But she also doesn't know that he wasn't honest with her or that he's sort of the bad guy or what we find out about what happened to her mother. So she's still at that point trying to get him back, trying to rescue him. Also, too,
wasn't it another flashback on here too on that final episode where they show before the nuclear war where they show Barb and her colleagues, they was meeting up with Cooper and his and a younger Hank. Remember, because this was
young Betty.
Yeah, but young Betty. So I remember that was during this final episode. They showed a flashback to that, and then he discovered that that one of the votes had a cryogenic store, I think you mentioned it, where they freeze them, where they kept them freezing the humans in there or whatever, or the babies or something in there frozen during that cryogenic thingamajiggy. I think I'm saying it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think they were showing that to the junior execs of the Votech. They showed that flashback, overseeing it was like a cyborg, some type of cyborg brain. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. The little robot gadget thing that be roaming around talking that we used to see in the game in Fallout games. You know what I'm talking about?
The robot with the Mr. Handy?
Yes. We
didn't even talk another thing I was so excited to see. They really stayed true to the game.
We didn't even talk about Mr. Handy. We forgot to mention that, man. Mr. Handy, that they showed that. I was like, oh snap, that's Mr. Handy. I'm like, again, I was doing another one of these. Oh my God, Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a moment. But yeah, so Lucy, she head to the Moldover and revealed to Rose. Then she revealed to Rose about the fled Vote 33. It was something she revealed to her about. What did she? It was Lucy revealed to her about something. Something about.
Lucy revealed to who?
To Rose. She revealed to Rose about about Vote 33.
Who's Rose?
I think Rose is the chick that got hit in the in the eye. The one that
was her mom. Hold on, let me look.
I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to go in here and look. But you go ahead and look. But
I'm gonna look real quick.
Yeah, that's
why I'm being mixed up a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I thought Rose. You about to have me look. Well, I guess you say you looking it up though. But yeah. Man, this show was damn great.
Okay, let me see. So,
because that's when Max.
So the girl with the eye, her name was Stephanie.
Stephanie, okay.
Barb was Coop's wife, and then Rose was her mom.
Rose was Lucy's mom?
Rose was Lucy's mom.
Okay.
Yeah, Rose McClain. So that was Lucy's mom. So basically, it was we ended up finding out that her dad killed her mom, basically, or blew up the city because and that was such an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Finding out how that all happened.
Yeah, it was because, at this whole time,
she was a ghoul and she was sitting at the table
the whole time. Yeah, that shit was crazy. And then I think Maximus, he ended up being forgiven by the Brotherhood because remember, I think they were kind of pissed at him when they almost gonna kill him, kill Maximus,
for killing the other dude or taking his armor. Then, remember, dude was we basically sort of saying to him that they were gonna take shit back over or whatever, when they was in the room by themselves. And then we also find out that his friend had like put the razor in their boot.
Yep.
Because like they didn't want to go.
And they thought it, and they thought it was Maximus at the beginning, and when he put the razor in it. Yep, you're right. Yep, that's cool. So
so there's a lot that we learn like around the end, and like sort of fills in all those blanks.
Right, and then remember when Lucy, she finally got to the up to top where her dad was being captive. Remember he was in that cage. Her dad, he was in the captive, and then Lucy convinced her dad to give Meldiver the codes to activate the fusion reactor. So then Maximus free. Then I think at that point we had like an action scene. So it was,
and that was very like true to the game too. You always had that big fight with a bunch of different factions at the end.
Yep. So we end up having that huge fight going on. And then Maximus came and he ended up like saving her dad. He ended up freeing he freed her dad or saved her dad or something like that. He ended up freeing her, but then he ended up killing him. He ended up killing not killing him, but he ended up attacking I think he ended up attacking
the dad
him.
like got away with the got away in some power armor. Like and
the
like,
dad did,
and then that's when we see him going towards New Vegas at the end. Because I saw New Vegas and I got like super excited about that. Oh man! So basically, like
that's right.
Stole because I think for whatever reason Maximus was out of the power. I don't remember why Maximus came out of the power armor right now, but I know that the power armor was empty, or maybe Maximus was still in his power armor and this was power armor that like one of the dead Brotherhood people had. Like it was just some empty power armor. And so Hank gets in the power armor and then he takes off and like that's how he gets away.
And then so how did, because you remember Maximus was like unconscious. Remember Lucy thought he was dead.
Yeah, and then she ended up leaving with the ghoul because she was like, because the ghoul was like, the Brotherhood is gonna take this place over. So do you want to live or die, basically? And so they left. And then by the time Maximus was gone,
yeah. So then, and then that's when we seen Hank. That's we saw Hank or we saw the ghoul going into New Vegas?
No, so the ghoul and Lucy, they were basically, oh man, listen, that scene where the ghoul was talking to Hank and he was like, oh, I remember you used to get my wife's dry cleaning. Like, I've been waiting 200 years to ask somebody this. Where the fuck is my family? That shit was so fire, that whole scene. But so like Hank gets in the power armor, he takes off and we see him sort of like, left flying to New Vegas or whatever. And you could see like all like the skyline, the New Vegas skyline, and that shit was so fire. Yeah. But like the ghoul and Lucy, they basically leave and they're trying to find because the ghoul's trying to find his family. And the ghoul's like, you can come with me and that can help you find out what's behind these vaults and like find out more about your history and like how you got here and like who your dad is and blah blah blah.
And that was dope shit. That was dope. Lucy ended up killing Rose too. Like she, like you said, that was a part of the fight.
It was like a mercy killing.
It was like a mercy killing.
Like her mom was a ghoul and she had been sitting there, so that was actually like I think I might have like teared up a little bit.
Oh, you dropped the thug tear?
I didn't drop one. I said my eyes watered a little bit.
Okay. I mean, come on. A little wet. You can be honest. You know what I'm saying? No. This is a safe space. Tyler. You can be. This is about Fallout, so you can be honest. It's all right. But man. Once we see that, and Hank flees over to New Vegas. Then we get the end credits, and it was like so. I think this show hit so well. I haven't heard any news. Have you heard any news, anything about them already signing up for season 2?
Yeah, they already announced season 2.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. So, you know where that's taking place at. That's taking place in arguably a lot of people's favorite game of the series in New Vegas. I think New Vegas is kind of the consensus of like, if you had to pick a Fallout game, if you had to rank them, like people will always rank New Vegas as the number one. Like that's typically always ranked number one. Fallout New Vegas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think
it depends on who you ask. I do know some people are Fallout 3 is their favorite, but I think that those of us who New Vegas is our favorite, we're like kind of snooty about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, have like a reputation for being snooty about it.
So I think I think that's kind of smart on them to kind of take this next season into New Vegas because, like I said, that's gonna definitely pull on the heartstrings for a lot of folks who love that game. Like who. It's kind of the same thing when they remade Resident Evil 4, the video game, and it was just putting on a lot of people love that Resident Evil, and it just pulling their heartstrings. I think them setting this new season in New Vegas is pulling on a lot of folks' heartstrings. Like they're gonna be like, oh my god, you talk about that's man, and like just the again original story, They stayed within the realm of the Fallout. I mean, I'm pretty sure I was doing it. You was doing it. All of the other Fallout junkies was all pointing at the screen like, oh my God, that yes, I remember that. Like, oh yes, that's from the game. Like they kept the elements from the game perfect to a T. Like, and it didn't come off corny. It didn't come off corny. It didn't come off forced at all. You know how sometimes when you watching video game movies or sometimes series of TV shows, they try too hard to kind of be like, hey, like, I know this from the game, right? Like it just comes, yeah. But no, they did a great job. They damn near just as good as job, if not better than, Last of Us, as far as like trying to connect, trying to get us familiar, the folks that play the game being like, ooh, snap. Like, yeah, they did it. They did it with this one, man. They did good with this Fallout TV show. I'm very pleased. I can't wait for season 2. And I'm so glad because I like to binge my show. So I remember at first they was going to release it week to week, but I'm so glad they end up changing their minds and giving us all 8 episodes and just be like, have at it. So I hope they do.
Like somebody said this in the chat, and I was actually thinking about this too because I know some people. I haven't listened to the frames per second review yet, and I want to. It's on my list of things to do. But some people were saying in the chat that they didn't like it, and that's something that I'm kind of curious about. Like people who don't know Fallout lore and like aren't familiar with it. Like, one, would they like it? 2, would they understand it, or would it seem like too confusing? Because just imagine trying to do like a crash course in Fallout.
It's too much. I mean? It's too much.
So I'm kind of curious about that too. I mean, the show made a lot of money and it was like really popular, but yeah, that's definitely. And also, it's like going back to when we were talking about our overall opinion at the beginning. This is something I said I was going to wait and say at the end. And I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, but like that's the one thing that I've been kind of like about, only because like on one hand it's dope that it has this like expansion to this whole new medium, but I always feel like Fallout fans, or like Fallout has such like a specific audience, that it's weird to like for a bunch of other people to know, you know what I'm saying, to be like consuming it. Like that part is still kind of weird to me. Like I said, I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, or like I don't want other people, I don't want to be like, watch it. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
I got you.
That's one thing that I would say is not a downside, but one thing when I say I'm like a little ambivalent about it, it's like, okay, I don't know how I feel about all you new motherfuckers.
So yeah, I'm gonna listen. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely now that we already talked about it, I'm gonna definitely listen and see what what Mike and Ken, because they love Last of Us, and I mean they didn't play Last of Us, but I feel you. I feel like Last of Us can play Last of Us.
I thought.
I don't remember Ken playing like. Yeah, but like Rod and Nate and all them, they never played the game, but they loved it. But then I think it goes to your point, what you said about Fallout, like how it's just so much, to try to sit and try to explain everything. Where Last of Us, it's kind of, that game was already like a movie anyway, so it was like the lore of that and the emotion from playing that video game. You can still get that same emotion if you never played a video game and watched the TV show. So
I feel like it's also like a little bit straightforward. You know what I mean?
It's definitely more straightforward.
The world of Fallout, where it's like, okay, it's a divergent timeline that changed around World War II, but like society or like social stuff still stayed in the 50s, but then we had nuclear. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that could be like weird to people who don't.
Right, and then like I said, but for us that play the game, it's so many layers to the video game that like that's why I'm so glad that they didn't try to pinpoint like a storyline from one of those games and force us with that. I'm glad they just like, look, we just gonna come up with a story. We're gonna come up with our story, but we're gonna have everything tied in that's familiar, that y'all know for the gamers that love Fallout series. Y'all gonna enjoy this. So whoever wrote that, they definitely was like, yeah, whoever played the games, they're gonna love this series, and we hope we get some new fans who don't play the game or whatever. But they
said that a lot of people like picked up Fallout, or like especially Fallout 76. A lot of people started like picking up Fallout 76. I saw Bethesda tweeted that on their account.
Yeah, man, this shit is the bomb. I love it. It's 2 thumbs up for me. I definitely enjoyed it. I even got my dad. I tell whatever I'm watching that I think is good, I just tell my dad to watch it. He don't got nothing else to do. He always watches it. He watch whatever I tell him to watch. So he even likes it. Like, he got some questions he asked me, sure, but he like it. He like, yeah, it's kind of cool. It got some good action in it and da. Like, yeah, he's following it. So I'm like, okay, if my dad watches it and likes it, I'm like, okay, Fallout must be doing this thing. So I'm here for it, man. I am so here for it. I can't wait for season 2.
Agreed. Like I said, overall, I love it. It really made me smile, like in so many ways, just from like top to bottom. Like I said, seeing all of it, because they really stayed true to the source material. So I got to give them props for like staying so true to the source material.
Yeah, I was really curious if you like this show, and I was like, because watching, I'm like, man, Tyler gotta like all these callbacks and all this stuff that's going. I was like, you gotta. I would have been surprised if you would have been like, yeah, it's okay, or it's like if you was anything less than saying you liked it, I would have been kind of surprised. Because I'm like, bro, they knocked this out the park with all the callbacks again. Like I said, the only thing I was watching, and I was like, I know Tyler gonna be mad that we didn't get a Deathclaw sighting. Like we didn't see a Deathclaw in action. I think we might get that. We should get that in season 2. I think people definitely will. Yeah, I think people are writing, fans are probably saying like, y'all, we gotta get a Deathclaw scene in season 2. So I think that's on the rise, and I think we definitely gonna get.
Yeah, because they put the little skull at the end. Like I feel like they did that to be like, okay, we're gonna have Deathclaw. Yes, y'all relax.
That was the Easter egg. I think that was the Easter egg they want to throw out for us, just just to, because look, I seen your Deathclaw in action. And look, I don't want no problems. I'm glad that thing is on my team. I know that thing is no joke. I'm cool. I'm cool with the Deathclaw being on our team. I'm fine with that. That's what I want. I'm cool with that. But yeah, man, that'll do it for the spoiler review of Fallout series TV show, man. Tyler, thank you so much for coming up here. We had to talk about this. I'm so glad we finally had a day and time to talk about this, because I've been wanting to talk about this. Yes,
our schedule.
Finally figured this out.
This for weeks now.
Y'all don't know. Like we said earlier, we was trying to do this damn near for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, like crazy. We've been trying to do this for so long. Like I said, we was
talking about doing it like your birthday weekend. That was like a month ago.
And we was gonna do that with Frames, y'all. It was gonna be me and Tyler joining Frames. We was gonna put them in check. If y'all say, I need to listen to it now. I need to listen to what they had to say about this show. Because, I feel like if me and you was there, we would have been like, I'm going
to listen to it too. But for what it's worth, on one hand, I think we should have did it all together. But I think like people that don't play the video game don't want to hear all our nerd shit about the video game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true too.
So there's some
true
benefit in doing it separate, I think.
That's true too. I think we definitely would have bored. We would have bored Mike and them. We would have gotten our nerdy game shit, that we was just doing today. So yeah, we would have bored them. Well, Ken would have probably been interested in hearing it, but we would have definitely bored Mike with it. I think we would have bored Mike with it. Now, unless Mike had questions, Mike would probably be like, y'all, so did they such and such and such? Like they probably would have had questions for us, but it still would have been funny, man.
We might have been able to clear some things up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
If there was anything they didn't get.
Sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, word to Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Tyler, has you been playing that song every day? I've been playing that song like almost every day.
That's been my alarm in the morning.
Like that. Oh, Presto T. That's Presto T.
Because I haven't been here in a minute. I love to see that this is still the vibe.
Oh man, that's crazy. Sometimes you gotta pop, and I said that, and that's what Presto T did. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, and he up here showing the black car bully. Look at that. Granddad just said it. The black car bully in the building. Sometimes you gotta pop out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I've been playing that damn Not Like Us. I've been playing so much. I even though my wife already liked the song, but I got her like singing certain lyrics and stuff on the song now because I say it a lot. Like it was funny. I said this on It's the Mic Salon. I'm gonna tell you the story. So I was like, yeah, man, that song is so crazy. So I remember like a couple of days ago, my wife was just telling me like a horrible day at work, right? She was just telling me like, yeah, such and such and such, da 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 da. So then I was like, yeah, you know what? I've been thinking about something too that's just really been bugging me out the other day. And she was like, what? She was thinking I was serious. She was like, what happened? What's up? I was like, man, Baca got a weird case. Why is he still around? And she was like, goodbye. I was like, man, Baca got a weird case.
I'm cracking up when she's terrorizing her already.
Yes. Oh, I'm terrorizing her already, man. I'm just like, oh my God.
I love it. That's so funny.
Yes. She was like, you crazy. I was like, I mean, he do. Why is he around? Like, yeah, man. I love that damn song. I'm
so Euphoria been like pretty much like I dead ass made a playlist with just those two songs so I could play it on repeat.
Man,
I just be listening to them two like back to back.
Kendrick let that dude have it, man. Kendrick let that guy. Kendrick was so surgical. Drake was not ready for that. Drake was not ready. He was not ready, man. Once Kendrick released Beat the Grams after Family Matters, I was like, battle should be over. The battle was over.
That whole thing, just watching it in real time, where we was all on the timeline, like, wait, he just dropped it again? Like, that was a historical moment.
It really was. It was so crazy. It was so crazy because we had just got finished recording via Zoom a Dead End Hip Hop. We was talking about Euphoria. So then we was like, yeah, we getting word that Drake might release a song or whatever. So after we got done recording, we shut off our laptops, whatever. So then Drake's song came out. Family Matters came out like 15 minutes after we got done wrapping up the call. We're like, oh, okay, cool, okay, Drake, all right, we not gonna get on stream. We're not gonna get on stream. We get on stream, Wednesday, So then, literally like 30 minutes later, we was like, Kendrick dropped. We was like, what? So then we had to. This was like at 1:30. We got back on the computer at like 1:30 at night. It was like 1:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we was talking about it. Like, bro, what just happened? Like, we was on live. Like, bro, what just happened? Like, yeah, that shit was wild. That shit was so wild. Oh my God, that was so wild. That was the wildest week in hip hop history. It sure was, man. He said, so is light skin over BZ 430? Hey, man, look here. Kendrick, he done stood up for the dark skinned dudes and the short kings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole new season out here for everybody. Oh my God. But all right, Tyler, I guess we can go ahead and wrap up and I'll figure out who we gonna raid. But as always, man, appreciate you for coming through. I'm glad you're here because I want to get you on for a gaming stream. We got to play some Apex or something like that for a gaming stream because Granddad is always out for the gaming streams, but he's always here for the podcast episodes. So I'm always holding down the gaming streams by myself. So if you want to,
he's selling drugs bi-weekly,
man, bi-weekly,
weeks you gotta be
bi-weekly. This man,
that's crazy.
Let me tell you something. This man is out here doing some serious damage, Tyler. So yeah, if you want to link up and do it, have a Apex Legends stream, we can do that. Just so that people can see you some more. You know what I'm saying? Just give them an excuse for him to see you, so we can probably have a gaming stream playing some Apex. Oh, matter of fact, have you played? It's a new game. It's kind of similar to Apex. It's called X Defiant. It just came out today. It's free.
Oh no, I'm not familiar with it.
It's.
I'm just looking at people talking shit in the chat. That's what my whole face shade. Tyler plays games, really?
Yeah, Tyler's play game. Yeah, it's kind of like
that's funny.
It's a 4v. I think it's a 4v4 not co-op. I mean, it's a 4v4 like battle royale. Not battle royale. It's only a 4v4. So it's like a team of 4 versus another team of 4 PvP shooter or whatever. It's called X Defiant. It's supposed to be like the competition for Call of Duty Warzone. It's a first person shooter. I think that's what it's kind of like that. It's like, well, not like that, but it's supposed to be like a competition for that though. It's like in a world of all the Tom Clancy games, Ubisoft games or whatever shooters, and it's a first person. So that's like another one we can probably play. It's free. I don't know if it's on Xbox though. I know it's definitely on PS5. It's free on PS5. But I don't know if it's.
In the chat, somebody said games like 9 to 5 simulator work-life balance. Wow. All right.
Damn.
I think that's what happens when you pop in.
Right.
Dragged. It's cool. But no, because I was literally about to say that like we'll definitely figure out a time when I can do that. I know for sure that I am not available the next 2 Tuesdays.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I whenever we have our next gaming week, I just text you and just say, hey, are you are you free this Tuesday or whatever. So we can play. And I told Granddad once he get back on the gaming streams that I want us to get on the Uno stream one again.
Yes, we gotta play.
But whenever, so I'm pretty sure we can get Kev. I already text Kev. Kev was just like, yeah, cool. If I'm free on a Tuesday, just let me know. I'll hop in and play Uno. So we just gotta get
shit like old times.
We just gotta get Granddad once he's back dealing drugs. On the gaming Tuesdays, we can get him and we can all have an Uno stream. Because I've been telling him that for the past couple of months. I'm like, yo, I want us to get back on and do an Uno stream. So
yes, I'm with you. Let me just also say for the record, because I'm still cracking up at me playing the work-life balance game, I'm losing. That game. I'm trying. I still have not beat the boss. I'm fucking losing the work-life balance game. So
Georgia asked, did we get a chance to play Redfall before the series shut down, the server shut down? No, that's that vampire game. Isn't it that vampire game that had like horrible reviews?
Yeah. I didn't know it had bad. I think because I remember when it first dropped or when they first announced it that it looked dope, and then I feel like I remember people playing it for like a week and then it sort of died out. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that it got bad reviews.
I remember it getting horrible reviews. I mean, I never played it for myself, but yeah, I remember it was getting horrible reviews. So. But yeah, it was on game. Oh, so it was on game. Oh, Granddad said that shit was ass. Damn. He said it was a PvP co-op game. Damn. Okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, I'll just hit you up, Tyler, and see whatever Tuesday you free, and we can play some Apex. Cause I played. It was funny for one of my gaming streams. I played with my godson, and I played with my godson. I played with Eric. Shout out to Eric V.
I was playing Apex.
Yeah, and I got my first win with them.
Oh, like that's what's up.
I got my first win with them, playing with them. Like that was my first time ever winning Apex. Like I was like, oh man, this is my first time winning. He was like, of course, my nephew like, cause you playing with me, that's why. I'm like, Lord. But yeah, it was me, him, and the Eric V. Man, we was playing Apex, and I got that was the last time I played. I got my dub. So yeah, I felt great. I felt great. I was like, oh snap, look at this. But yeah, like I said, I'll keep you posted and see what Tuesdays you're free if you want to
yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, play some. Yeah, I'm playing Path of Exile as well. Playing Path of Exile. I'm back on Diablo 4 right now too, Presto. This new season is pretty dope. But all right, Tyler. Let me go ahead and let you go so I know you got to get back to work.
Did we actually like close out the episode? I do got to get back to work. Did we actually like close out the episode, or is this still the episode, or is this like the post show, or like?
I mean, it's kind of like the post show. We closed it out already, but it's just I'm just here talking because the people haven't seen you in a minute. So, but I know you said you had some work you still had to finish up doing. So I didn't want to keep you too long.
Close out the episode, and I didn't get to say peace, y'all, at the end of the episode.
Oh, you can still say it now. You can still say it now.
But that's what like Diogo was saying, because I think we was like, oh, I think we can wrap this up, and then we just started talking about Kendrick, and then we moved on to like other stuff. So we never like formally wrapped up the pod.
So I'm gonna say it. All right. All right, y'all. So that would do. So just for editing purpose. So Granddad, you can edit this last part in. All right, y'all. So that's gonna do it for this spoiler review of the Fallout TV show. That's on Prime. You can watch it right now if you have a Prime subscription, or if you don't, if you got other ways you can watch the shows, watch them. But make sure you watch this. If you're a fan of the video game, please watch this show. As always, Tyler, thank you for coming through. We will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Bam. There you go. Granddad said I ain't editing the damn thing. Granddad said I ain't editing the damn thing. He crazy.
Well, he said he do all his cutting when the drugs are on the table.
Bam.
No other cutting besides that.
See, these are the bars I've been missing, Tyler. I've been missing these bars because I try to hit Granddad with these every now and then, but man, I miss these. I'm glad somebody is back on my side here because I try to say it every time, and Granddad just be like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" I am so glad. Look at her. He like, wow.
Willie, when are you gonna bring me some shrimp from Gary?
He ain't never going back together. Now. Right. He gonna get super quiet. Gary, wait a minute. He like, what are you talking about? I ain't going back there. I got too many cases pending. Look, he got too many cases pending there. He got too many cases pending back at home.
That's really the issue. That's really why he didn't bring me that shrimp. We was talking about it before. He had to like send somebody else.
Man,
so, like, police wouldn't see him.
Them cases are too. If he stepped foot in Gary, the feds are gonna be ready to take him down immediately. So no, he can't go back there.
Yes, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen Diarra from Detroit?
Yes. Of course, if I see something that has Detroit in the name of it, I'm going to watch it.
That's my shit. I just finished that like 2 nights ago.
Oh, you did?
Like, that's one of my favorite shows. That shit gave me my life.
It's a good show. It's definitely a dope show. Of course, if I see anything that says Detroit on there, I'm going to watch it. Like, oh, speaking of Detroit, do you watch the Dirty D on Tubi?
I have Tubi, but I don't first of all, I don't really be watching shit. Like I watch Fallout because I love Fallout, and then I watched Diarra from Detroit because it was giving me my whole life and making me feel at home. Other than that, I'll be taking like months to watch a show.
But yeah, the Dirty D is the first 2 seasons have been only on Tubi, but they got upgraded to Peacock. So now the season 3 of the Dirty D is on Peacock now. I'm like, oh snap! So
let me check it out.
I mean, and if you watch it, you're gonna be like, you're gonna see areas where you're gonna be like, I know, like you're gonna see familiar areas of Detroit. You're gonna be like, oh man, I know what part of the hood that, like I know where they at. Like you're gonna see that and you're gonna be like, oh man, this is crazy. So but yeah, Dirty D. If you get a chance, like I said, all the 2 seasons are on Tubi, and then season 3 is gonna be on Peacock. I think this summer or whatever. So I'm like, oh man, they ain't left Tubi and got the Peacock. That's what's up. But all right, Talia, I'll go ahead and let you go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad. I gotta run, but it was a blast.
Yes,
so
yes, it
we
was.
Finally, like worked it on out, and then
know.
Yeah, we'll do a gaming stream soon.
I know, and I shoot you the link or text you the link once it's up.
All right, bet.
All right.
Holla. Peace.
Peace.